Right, Steve, are we ready?
We are ready.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, we now have a special treat for you. We now have Mr. Dave Gibson, who is a member of the Magic Circle. He does a one-man show. He's travelled the world doing this, tricks of magic and the mind. And he's been to Las Vegas and all these wonderful places all over the world. So please, ladies and gentlemen, to amaze you, Mr. Dave Gibson.
Good evening, everybody. How are you all? Lights up, lovely. That was a wonderful introduction, wasn't it? I like a nice introduction. You're probably all wondering about Las Vegas. Well, I'm just actually come from there. It's the Las Vegas Amusement Arcade in Western Superman. So what I do, my one-man show is called Tricks of the Imagination, Mind Reading and More. And the things that I do is I ask the audience to just play along with me, please. Just suspend your disbelief for a few minutes and just enjoy the show. Nothing I do is in any way psychic. There's nothing to do with talking with the dead. I very often have problems communicating with the living, so you can imagine it's... how are we? Lovely. Look at that audience tonight. If I was a magician, I'd probably come out there and I'd probably say to you, pick a card, and I'd probably look at that card and I'd be able to bring it to the top of the deck and do all sorts of wonderful things with it. Well, I'm not a magician and I don't magish, but what I'd like to do is just play a little game with you, and it's just a simple thing to get us started, really. I've got a simple deck of cards here with a rubber band around it, and I'm going to pass it to various people in the audience, or I'm going to ask them to pass it around. And all that I'm going to ask you to do is just to take the pack of cards and just tweak one corner over like that. Glimpse the card and remember that card, and then we'll see what we can do. And I'm going to ask you to stand up when you do it as well. And I wonder if the gentleman just sitting there, yes, you sir, thinking he's going to pick on me. Is that the one? Thank you. It is, isn't it? Can you do that for me? Just prick it over and just remember the card and see. And then pass it along perhaps to this gentleman here, would you mind? Thank you very much indeed. It's wonderful, isn't it? Yes. Hello, how are you? Yeah, I know. You can think of me as a magician if you like. It's just that instead of conjuring with lions and tigers and pretty girls, things like that, I conjure with people's thoughts and ideas. Sooner have the pretty girls, wouldn't you, sir? I know that, you see, it's a gift. Have you remembered a card? Would you stand up for me? Would you stand up for me just for a moment? And just want you to just break it open, sir, just at one place. Have you got it? Good. Have you remembered that card? Can you stand up for me? And for the gentleman that would have preferred the pretty girls, can you do that for me too? Just break it open and think of one card that you find. Don't show it to anybody else, don't let anybody else around you see it. Have you got it? Thank you very much. Stand up. What I'm going to try and do now, ladies and gentlemen, is look into your minds and just see if I can see these cards. You've forgotten it already, haven't you? You haven't. Think about it, please. Think about it, please. Think about it. If you have to close your eyes just for a second, that's absolutely fine. But what I want you to do, gentlemen, is see it in Technicolor. Think of the card that you're looking at and see it in colour. I see not everybody's got a coloured card there. Some of you are thinking, there's no picture cards, is there? Right, I'm going to say 4 cards, and if I say these cards, and it's your card, sit down. If it's not your card, remain standing. So are you ready? Are you ready? The 7 of diamonds, the 9 of spades, the 10 of hearts, and the 4 of clubs. Hey. Oh. It gives you an idea of what to do, really, doesn't it? Some of the things that I've done, I'm very lucky. I have travelled the world in search of all things psychic and phenomena that people would call psychic phenomena. And for the most part, I've met people who are phonies and fakes and have just been interested in taking people's money off them. You know, cross my palm with silver and I'll tell you your fortune. You're £10 lighter. Yes, I know. But one person that I met out in Russia was a lady called Anna Kournikova. Now, Anna Kournikova was a wonderful person. It's not that one, sir, I promise you. You're not a tennis player. You know, there are no pretty girls in this one. But what Anna Kournikova could do. I heard about her. She was 95 years old. She'd been blind from birth, and the thing that she could do, she claimed, was read just with her fingertips. And not only could she read with her fingertips, but she could actually transmit. When she closed her eyes, she could transmit this to other people who could have sympathy with her. And I met her, and she was a lovely lady. And she very kindly showed me what she does. Now, obviously, I can't tell you how she does it. But whether she's real or she's a phony, you can make your own minds up about it. But I'm going to show you, just demonstrate for you what she does. And for this, I'll need the help of somebody in the audience. If anybody has a £20 note, I want to borrow it. You get it back. I'm not like a magician. I don't turn it into a £10 note and give it to you back. So has anybody got a £20 note? That's the first thing I'm going to need. And I'm going to show you how Anna Kournikova was able to read with just her fingertips. And what I also need is I also need a lady to perhaps come and give me a hand with this, because I don't want to actually touch this note. Lady here with a purple scarf, let's keep it there. Fold it in half for me, away from you. Can you do that? I don't want to see it. Would you mind coming and helping me? Can you do that? Come with me. Give her a big round of applause. It's quite nerve-wracking doing that. Thank you very much. Are you okay? Hand it in. That's it. Grab that £20 note off that gentleman. He's folded it in half, fold it in half again. Are you okay then up there? Good. That's very good. Welcome to the world of show business. What's your name? Rosemary. Rosemary, thank you very much indeed, Rosemary. Now, we've not set our hands up, have we? No, we've never met before? Are you sure? These people will think we have. Isn't that anything? Misbelievers. Oh, thank you very much. I won't tell them. So, come this way. Rosemary, I want you to fold, make sure that note is folded in two parts, four parts, and nothing can be seen, can it? Nothing at all? Are you sure? Are you going to happy? You are. What I want you to do is put it in the palm of my hand and put your fingers on it. Put your fingers on it. Now, what we're going to do is, as you run your fingers backwards and forwards on the £20 note, I'm going to get an impression of the numbers that are on it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to point to different people in the audience, and I'm going to ask them to stand up, and you're going to be, for instance, keep hold of that, the gentleman there with the red shirt on, same haircut as me, yes, you sir. Would you mind just standing up for a moment and think, just remember for me the number 5. Number 5, good. Fingertips, 5. The gentleman on the end there, finger in your mouth, would you mind standing up and thinking, just remember the number 1 for me. 1, got it. Next gentleman there, yes sir, you can stand up, thank you very much. Yes please. Thank you, remember the number 1 again. Keep rubbing that, keep rubbing it, coming. All right. It's got nothing at all to do with what we're doing, it's just very nice. No, stop, no. Yes, lady there laughing. You madam, stand up and think of 3. Thank you. Do you mind? 3. Lady in front of you, can you stand up and tell me, keep it the number 6? 6, yes please, madam, yes, got it, 6. I'm going back now, just behind you, sir. Going back, gentleman with the beard. Can you think of also number 4? And coming in a bit, lady with the blonde hair glasses. Can you think of 3? And coming over this side here, gentleman in the back with the green jumper on. And yes, sir, press on it and think of the number 8. God, how do we do that? What do we get? 5. We got 1. We got 1. We got 3. We got 6. We got 1. We got 8. If we put this right, they'll give us a big round of applause. They will. Do you need your specs to read? I do. You do. Don't worry. Take that £20 note. Take it to this gentleman there, the rather sceptical looking gentleman there. I'll help you down. And he's going to look at this note. We've never met, have we, sir? No, we've never met. I want you to open this note. I want you to look at those numbers on the note and take the microphone and say very loudly the numbers on that note. Let's see if they match up with these things. Give Rosemary a round of applause for him. Your name, sir?
Alan.
Thank you, Alan. Are you ready?
Yes.
Can you read those numbers? They are unique to that note, that is that note's DNA. With the letters in front, I'm not interested in the letters at the moment, but I am interested in the numbers. And is the first number 5? It isn't. What is the first number?
2.
The first number is 2. It is. Nothing to do with it. Did you give me the note, sir? You did. Have it back. All right. There you go. Try now. You ready?
Yes.
Go.
5.
Yes.
1.
Yes.
1.
Yes.
3.
Yes.
6.
Yes.
4.
Yeah.
8.
Yeah.
G.
Yeah. 6. 8.
6.
Oh, well, there you go. Did I call your numbers not near enough? Nearly got it, not quite. It's not an exact science. Who gave you the £20 note? You did. Thank you very much. I'll have mine back. Round of applause for all of you. If anybody's guessed what's happened there, it's not an exact science, is it? It's fun. Right, now then, ladies and gentlemen, you probably think that what I do is all a little bit of codswallop, but it absolutely is. But along the way, what we do is I'm able sometimes to influence people's thoughts and their way that they think, and it's very simple. I'm going to ask somebody in the audience now to help me with this one. And it's a very simple thing that we're going to do. We're just going to think of a number in a moment. The number comes up and I'm going to count down to the pack of cards and we'll see what happens. It's very simple. I'm going to call upon the gentleman. Let's have a look who would be nice and helpful for this. Would you mind helping me, sir? Do you mind helping me? Yes, sir. You. Good evening, sir. What's your name? Roger. Nice to meet you, Roger. I'm David. How are you in numbers? Are you quite easy to think of numbers? I'm going to ask you to think of a number in a minute. I don't want you to think of anything at the moment. I just want you to leave your mind blank. Now, if I ask most people in this audience to think of a number between 1 and 9, they probably come up with the number 7 or 3. Am I right? Lots of people nodding. So there's a lot of psychology involved here, and in a moment Roger's going to think of a number, but not between 1 and 7. The number's between 4 and 21. Do you see that up there, Roger? I'm going to ask you in a minute, just in a minute, to think about a number between 4 and 21. Not at the moment, though. I want you to keep your mind clear. You've probably already thought of a number, haven't you? See, most people look at that 4 to 21, they've already deducted the 4 and thought of 17. But that's not the one we're going to use because Roger's going to think of a number. A tiny, random number. Are you okay for this, Roger? You are? That's good. Now, what I'm going to say to you, Roger, you've probably thought of a number already, have you? Between 4 and 21. Well, before you actually make your mind up about that number, what I want to tell you about that number is it's a very unique number. In a moment, I'm going to count down through the pack of cards to that one. Before I do that, I need somebody just to act as a judge for me. I'm going to... Let's have a go at this. Let's see if we can work with this one. Now then, who can we get to this one? Yes, you said. Do you mind helping me with this one? Look at that card there. Can you remember that? Are you sure? Happy? Got it. Right. Roger, if I said to you, think of a number between 4 and 21, you've already got it in mind. Let me tell you, Roger, before. Do you mind if I mess your brain a little bit? Get into your mind and think how you're working and see if we can come along with something. See if I can influence you. You don't look like the sort of man that could be influenced. But if I said to you, Roger, that you've probably already discounted 4 and 21 because they're at the opposite ends of the scale. Most people do. Ladies, Roger, tend to go for a smaller number. Men go for the larger number because we sort of want to be big chaps, don't we? You don't want these little numbers and things like that. Am I right? But you might want to fool me, Roger, into thinking I'll go with the ladies' side. I don't mind. I'm a masculine sort of man. I don't mind if it's a lady's number. Mind you might already think I've discounted that. I might be trying to make you go for a low number, Roger. I mean, that would be possible, wouldn't it? If I was influencing your mind, yeah? Men tend to pick odd numbers, ladies pick even numbers. I don't know why that is, but that's what the psychologists tell us. So very simply, Roger, you probably thought of a number, haven't you? Is it the same number that you thought of when I first asked you? It is. You see, Roger's a solid sort of chap. You're not going to change Roger's mind about anything there, I don't think, have you, Roger? Not at all. So for the first time, Roger, what number is it that you chose? 13. Jolly good. It's not an exact science, this, Roger. Roger, I'm going to ask you, has anything been set up beforehand? With me and you, we've never met, have we? Never. And 13 is the number that you thought of. Quite happy with the number 13. Good. If I said to you, Roger, that you could change your mind, and I could count 5, and you've got the option to change your mind, Roger, you probably wouldn't change your mind, would you? No, because you think I want you to change your mind. But you might be wrong there, you see, I'm double bluffing you or something like that. Am I right? So, Roger, I'm going to count to 5 and see if you want to change your mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't want to change your mind. It doesn't matter, Roger, because I wanted you to choose the number 13. I did. And I'll tell you why I wanted you to choose the number 13, Roger, because I'm going to count down here in these cards here. So everybody can see them, I'll put them in a glass. It's very simple. 1, 7 of clubs. 2, 5 of clubs. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, Roger. Absolutely sure. Don't change your mind. Roger, between us, we've managed to do something absolutely amazing. Now, if we've got this right, Roger and I should get a big round of applause, I think, don't you, Roger? I think we've done a really good job. Because we counted down 13 cards, and we've got the card here. Gentleman sitting here in front of you. What was the card that I showed you?
6 of clubs.
The 6 of clubs. Would it be a 6 of clubs like that? It would? Yeah. Roger, this lot think it's tough. They really do. That was a very poor round of applause. It was such an amazing thing, wasn't it? And the gentleman here, he could. They think that you and I have probably set that up beforehand. But we haven't, have we? Do you know what? I can prove it. Because this has been up there all the time, hasn't it? I think. Wait till you see this, Roger. This will rock the socks. Would it be even that 6 of clubs there? Now, did I influence Roger? Or is he such a solid man that I read his mind? I don't think so. I'm going to leave you now with just one thing, a very short thing here. It's something that I do for very good audiences that I like. I'd like just somebody to shout out a date in the last century, you know,
24.
Who said 44? Max. Is it a good year? Who said it's a good year? You. Good year, 1944. Everybody happy with 1944? We'll start with 44, okay? Well, this is for you, Max. You've been a good compare. He's been a great compare, hasn't he? Yeah. Let me see if I've got a better pen. 44. Where are we going with 44, Max? Let me show you. This is a little square thing. You'll probably see it taking effect as we do it. I first did it about 10 years ago, and it should be, what did you say, Max? 44? 44. Right. Here we go. Look at that, 44. Let's put it at the bottom. Right. This is a little bit of applied mathematics and things like that, and what I do is, it's just a little bit of nonsense. It's anybody can learn how to do it. There are about 14 different equations that I do just to do this. I sometimes do it as a warm-up just to get my head into gear for things, but let's see if we can get this right for you, Max, shall we? Okay, let's have a look now then. Can everybody see that further back? Are you quite happy with this? Yeah. So I was going to use the bigger board, you see, but I didn't. Okay. And here we go. I've got to think of this now because 44 is an odd number. It's much more easier with, you know, with odd numbers rather than even numbers. But we have that. Okay, now then, if we've got this right, some of you are already ahead of me here, aren't you? Hey, look at that. One or two happy smiles. Is there any maths teachers in here tonight? I hope not, anyway. Physics or anything like that. What I've done for you there, Max, look at this. Now, if I've done this right, for this wonderful audience this evening, you'll find that the top row here adds up 11, 14, 5 and 14 to 44. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this next one here, 4, 15, 10 and 15. Does it add up? It does. 16, 7, 12 and 9 adds up to 44, and 13, 8, 17 and 6, 44. Great. But, and the other, who said the other way? Lady there, thank you very much. Look, it does look. 11, 4, 16 and 3, 44, 14, 15, 7, 8, 44. 5, 10, 12, 17, 44, 14, 15, 9, 6, 44. Hey, oh wow, who said that? No, hang on, who said? And the diagonals as well, does it? Have I done it right? This time, look at this, 11, 15, 12, oh, 6, 44. And the other way, who said the other way? Thank you, madam. It goes the other way, 14, 10, 7, 13. How about that? You've been such a fabulous audience, especially for you this evening. If you have a look at this, it doesn't happen all the time. The corners, 11, 14, 6 and 13. How about that one? No, hold on. There's more. And because you've been an especially good audience, I've just happened this evening, by coincidence, each of these four, and each of those four all add up to 44. Now my brain's fried. Thank you very much indeed. It's been a wonderful audience.